All I know is to be no reason. All I know is to be no reason. All I know, and you know, look at what happened. All I know is to be no reason. 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 All I know, and you know, look at what happened.
What's going on, Conscious crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You are in for a very, very, very interesting live stream tonight. You guys probably have heard the lawsuit that has now been heard all around the world regarding one of Jackson 5's only, okay, Jermaine Jackson. Well, we have someone who is going to be able to drop some interesting tea and help us to explain why this may be happening now, what the possible motive of the plaintiff is, because we're going to have Jermaine Jackson's son here to speak his truth on what is transpiring, what is happening, what this witch hunt is, okay, against Jermaine Jackson. Before we do that, though, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video. Make sure that you guys share this stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that is your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your Instagram, your Facebook, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're allowed live. And then Gullah, all right? Also want to shout out to all of the new subbies. I think we're like 7 subscribers away from 45K. We're working, all right? Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all, because you never want to miss a upload from the king, and you never know, just like Jesus, when I may be coming through those clouds and dropping content on y'all heads. So if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready, bruh. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay?
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let me shout out to my baby mothers for the audacity piece of baby father child support check. Okay, I love when y'all throw blessings and coin on the king before he even hit the stage, baby. All right, y'all love pissing these niggas off on the internet. Okay, y'all just love doing that. Let me go ahead and shout out to my baby mother Tanya and my baby mother Ashley for the audacity 2023 baby father child support checks. Bless y'all, bless the family, bless your health, your wealth, and I'm going to continue to be real good to y'all, all right? Even better to y'all going forward. Y'all already know, if you're enjoying this live stream, you can show the king that it's real by thumbing up, by subscribing if you're new, and or you know, by hitting that PayPal and that Cash App. So shout out to y'all, all right? So I don't want to hold you guys long. I do have my guests already in the back room. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get into the details of this lawsuit and then bring up Gepetto Jackson, all right? So we can get into all things going on with Jermaine Jackson right now, what his thoughts are, what has been revealed and told to him from the other side, etc. Because there's a lot of moving parts. Now, you guys also know that me and Gepetto have a 3-part interview that is stellar, all right? I already know the type of questions that are going to come up in the chat. Just know that whatever you're going to ask in this chat regarding his relationship, his blood ties to the Jacksons, etc., it's all been revealed in this 3-part series, all right? Now, because we laid out so much and we went over so many topics and subject matters in that interview, which was supposed to be only about an hour and a half. We end up, you know, going almost 4 hours. It is so nuanced and so in-depth that I want to make this interview super special. So it's pre-recorded and it's going to have a lot of interesting edits in it, which is why I'm taking my time to get it done right, because, you know, I want to give y'all a movie, because this man's life is, in fact, a movie. So this interview deserves to reflect the intensity and the uniqueness of his lived experiences, all right? So keep your eye out for the Gepetto Jackson 3-part mini series. All right. Now I'm going to bring up a visual and then we're going to get into some of the details, you guys. All right. Let me go ahead and do that. All right. This is what we're going to be looking at as I read off on this lawsuit. Okay. Bitch, I ain't had to take nothing. Okay. At all in 1998. Now, the lawsuit is covered by page6.com. And this is what it headlines. Jermaine Jackson sued for alleged 1988 sensual assault. Plaintiff feared for her life. Now, you guys know YouTube is really big on censorship, so I'm going to have to curve certain words, all right? Jermaine Jackson has been sued for allegedly sensually assaulting a woman named Rita Butler Barrett in Los Angeles in 1988. The civil lawsuit for sensual battery, sensual assault, and negligence was filed by Barrett on Wednesday and obtained by Page 6 on Thursday. Barrett is also suing Jermaine L. Jackson Music Productions, Inc. and Work Records, Inc. In her complaint, Barrett describes herself as a, quote, survivor of sensual abuse, sensual battery, sensual assault, harassment, and RAPE at the hands of the former Jackson 5 member. Barrett claims that she came to know Jackson, now 69 years of age, when she worked as a musician's contractor. Additionally, she claims the two had mutual close personal familiar connections, including Motown Records founder Berry Gordy, who was purportedly simultaneously in a personal and business relationship with Barrett's husband. According to Barrett, Jackson allegedly forced himself into her LA home after arriving unannounced in or around the spring of 1988. Quote, with force and violence, he allegedly proceeded to sensually assault her. According to her filing, during the alleged attack, Barrett claims that she prayed to God for help as she feared for her life. When Jackson was allegedly satisfied, Barrett claims he left her residence. The following day, she claims she reported the assault to Gordy, now 94 years of age, who allegedly, quote, withheld and concealed the acts, further perpetuating the cover-up. Barrett believes that Gordy's alleged inaction allowed him, Jackson, and others in the business relationship to continue to reap profits derived from Jackson's work and reputation for years to come. Barrett notes that Motown Records was sold for great profit that June. In her filing, Barrett claims that Jackson engaged and affirmatively participated in a conspiracy to cover up or prevent disclosure of information relating to the abuse, which allegedly consisted of a concerted effort to hide evidence relating to sensual assault, that incentivized individuals to remain silent or prevent information relating to a sensual assault from becoming public or being disclosed to Barrett. According to Barrett, the alleged cover-up denied her ability to mitigate her damages, obtain therapeutic support, and disclose the trauma to others. She believes that Jackson's alleged behavior was oppressive, malicious, manipulative, and despicable, that it was intentional. She claims that she was forced to suffer in silence and shame for decades, adding that she continues to suffer great emotional distress. In addition to emotional distress, Barrett claims that she has suffered physical pain, emotional anguish, fear, anxiety, humiliation, and embarrassment, in addition to damage, both economic and non-economic, and permanent disability. She claims her injuries are substantial, continuing, and permanent, and she is demanding a trial by jury. Reps for Jackson and Gordy did not immediately respond to Page 6 requests for comment. All right, you guys. There's a lot. 35 years ago. In fact, Darian, this is a mess. What I'm going to do is bring up the man of the hour, no other than Gepetto Jackson. What's going on, Gepetto?
How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. I am happy to have you here. Thank you for being here. Obviously, you having close proximity to the family. I am interested in what you feel, what you know, and what's going to happen with these allegations and the lawsuit. But before we do that, introduce yourself to the people who may not know that you are out here breaking iTunes charts and you got a successful project and just everything.
Well, again, my real name is Andre Van. I go by Gepetto Jackson entertainment name. If you Google me, you'll see a lot of stuff, man. But I changed my life around, and it's been a lot of controversy built around my name. But on the better hand, it was like we stepped up, man. We got a #1 album called Jermaine. If you have iTunes, go in there and get it. Check it out. It's amazing. I'm also working on a new project called We Do Recover, a follow-up of my recovery, because I had to go to rehab for alcohol. But I'm just like happy to be here, but I'm kind of sad about the situation right now.
Yeah. So how did you get the news? I mean, obviously, I was one of the first.
Man, so I'm out last night with some fellas. We were talking about working with the album, and out kind of like 4 seconds celebrating, finishing up, and I get a call from Consciouztv, and I'm like, what? So right after the call, everybody started calling, family members, friends. Then it just got bigger and bigger. My phone just started blowing up, and they were like, man, this is really going on. So I reached out and called overseas and confirmed it, and it's going down right now.
What was the attitude of some of the people calling you, and did anybody that we know call you about this lawsuit?
You say it one more time, please.
What was the attitude of those who called you? Like, were people afraid? Were people, experiencing anxiety? Like, what was the atmosphere of those who were calling you about the lawsuit?
It was just like unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts? Like, were you in belief or disbelief, or like, did you think maybe there was a mix-up?
No, I really wasn't shocked, because I knew something was going to happen sooner or later. I mean, you got to think about it. Jafar is about to do this Michael biopic movie, and he got his hands in the Jackson estate. They just put $400 million into the budget of the movie. So who's better to target right now? They all know that Papa Jermaine was very promiscuous as an artist. So they see it, they put it out there in the news. He got a lot of kids, so who could we antagonize and attack to stir up this media before this movie drops? And that's what they're trying to distract us from. They're trying to get their hands in it. The media does this all the time. They've been doing this to the Jacksons for over 40 years, 50 years.
Wait a minute. So did you just say that Jermaine just funneled $4 million into a movie project?
No. The Jackson estate gave his son Jafar $400 million. They gave the budget for the movie $400 million. Yeah.
$400 million.
Yes, that's the budget of the movie. Yes.
Was just given from the Jackson's estate.
Yes, to do this movie.
To do the movie that's based on Michael's life.
Yes.
And then the coincidence and irony of a lawsuit, a civil suit happening once a $400 million budget is publicized.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. All right. So before we get there, all right. So you called overseas. I don't think a lot of people know, Gepetto, that Jermaine has been in Africa for some time. How long has Jermaine been in Africa? And what was that phone call?
It was a phone call with somebody close for legal reasons. I can't really be specific about the phone call, but it's overseas. Like, I can't even say Africa anymore because I don't want to give too much details. But the phone call was just to confirm what this, like, was this allegation true? How are they going to do it? Because he's not even, like, they can't even get him back to the United States. So it's going to have to be lawyers dealt with, which, the family's going to take care of it. But, like, they can't, how are they going to get him here? He can't come back here. So
So that's what I was wondering, with him being overseas and Miss Barrett being an American citizen, how is the lawsuit going to work out?
I mean, first of all, I don't even know how they're gonna make it stick. How, like, it's not, you know, I mean, I know they got the new laws, but like, they say they're gonna want to do a trial, and if they go and do the trial, like, then he's gonna have to step up and smash this one. He's gonna have to smash this one because, like, if he doesn't fight this one, they're gonna continue to go at him like they did Michael. Once you get one in, then the next person's coming, then the next person's coming, the next person's coming. You know, and he doesn't. He has to nip this one in the bud right here and get it out the way because it's nonsense. Everybody knows that. Come on, man. He didn't have to take nothing at all. Take what? What? Everything. You got to think about at the time. They're going overseas. People passing out, fainting, dying to get backstage. You know, and the ones that couldn't get to Michael, they would try to get to the brothers. So come on, take what?
This is what's interesting to me, Gepetto, about the allegations. I mean, you know, right, this is a realm of infinite possibilities. So I guess on some level or another, something like this can happen. However, it seems unlikely because Miss Barrett acknowledges that at the time that this alleged assault happened, that her own husband was in very close cahoots with Berry Gordy. Is that his name? Berry Gordy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Berry Gordy, etc. It seems unlikely that Jermaine would have completely fucked up the church's money by assaulting the wife of a man who was doing very good business with who would have been his boss as well at the time, and just would have inserted this really diabolical event into the equation and risked his fame, risked upsetting his own personal and business relationships. I mean, we're talking about sensual assault here, so this is a very explicit act, and this is something that had the potential to go completely left. And to do that with a woman who was well known, who also worked within the circle that Jermaine was in, her own husband, etc. It just, like, I can't say absolutely this did not happen, but it just does not make sense.
It's not gonna make sense at all. It's not, you know. But that's what they want us to believe. Like, they're doing this. It's certain people that, like I said again, it's always the point where, you know, they find the person that's more attackable. Like, you know, you can attack them all the time, and they know that he was, like I said, promiscuous. A lot of women loved Jermaine, so they took that angle and turned it up. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, now that we got this movie coming out. You know, he's the easiest person to get to. He hasn't been around. We're gonna go for the legacy. This is what this is about.
And to Bougie Barbie's point, once again, we can't say it didn't happen, but we also know people prey on stars as well. So stars are not always the predator. Stars a lot of times are also the prey. Okay, we have seen that historically when it came to celebrities and people clout chasing. They did it when it came to Usher. There's 50 million athletes who have had to fight false accusations and have been proven innocent. So we know that there's a reality to both aspects and situation, but there's also other very seemingly inconsistent things in the way she filed this lawsuit, because she also couldn't really determine what season this assault happened in, but she can remember everything else allegedly to a T.
Okay, this is the thing. Here we go again. Like I told you, this is what you do. This is her goal right here. So you get him to get to trial, right? The movie has a countdown. So if this is going on, obviously it's gonna be a little shaky around the movie dropping. So if she puts this together, she can just, oh, I'm gonna sue him or settle out, you know, get a big name around the movie coming out, one of the biggest movies ever, you know what I mean? And then from there, okay, put out a book, put out a whatever, like she's scheming. It's scandalous. You know what I mean? The whole situation is scandalous. We see it from afar away. That's what's going on.
Did you say that she's putting out a book? I'm sorry.
I said she would put like something that she would do, like from there, like she's getting all these viewers and everybody's talking about it from the New York Times to everybody else. She's gonna get people gonna pay her to get interviews with her. You know what I mean? So she's already gonna be getting paid. So the more she strings this along, just like the accusers when they were saying that Michael was touching kids, they all were getting paid for
another prime example of somebody who had multiple accusers who turned out to be extremely, profoundly innocent.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it's like, it's not gonna stick, man. It's not.
What is Jermaine's attitude? Is he disappointed? Is he hurt? Is he?
He's not surprised.
He's not surprised. Wow.
Not at all.
Some people have some questions about who she's suing. So once again, she's suing Jermaine himself, and according to the suit, she's also suing Jermaine L. Jackson Music Productions Inc. and Work Records. Do you know any details about Work Records? Is that his record label?
That's where his like publishing is and his musical assets.
So she's coming for the moolah.
Yeah, the money.
Coming for what the moolah is.
Yeah, she's definitely trying to come for the money.
Now, with your understanding, with 400 million being given to his son, essentially your brother, where would that money be? Would it be in the record label? Like she would.
I don't know the logistics of the whole deal when it comes to Jafar, but I mean, obviously that's his kid, so it's like whoever worked the deal to make it happen, who knows? I don't know the logistics of that either, but I do know this: like, if the movie got a $400 million budget, Jafar got a ticket, you know, so. He got a as you guys say, he got a bag, man. So it's like attacking that. Of course, he's gonna look out for his father or siblings, everybody else. So they know that, you know, in their minds, whoever's scheming is like, man, Jermaine had to run into some money. So here's the right time to get it and then double back on the money again.
So the interesting thing is that obviously people are saying that this is a money grab. A lot of people don't actually believe that this is real. They believe that this is a clout chase, that this is a money grab, etc. But here's the thing. Miss Barrett named other people that she didn't run to the police after the assault. She ran to essentially her boss. She didn't even say she ran to her husband, which is odd to me, but that I would assume then that means that her substantiating that this happened means that she has plans on subpoenaing Berry Gordy and these alleged employees who existed at the time, who was aware of this, etc.
And listen to this. How old is Berry Gordy right now?
94,000 years old.
Yeah. So get him while he's on his sick bed, and it's
suffering from dementia, on dialysis.
Yeah, they well planned. Come on, man.
This is interesting timing. I mean, it is fascinating timing.
Common sense. This is a massacre, man, and it, like you said in the beginning, it's a witch hunt. It is.
Darian J says that she ran to the people that will lie for her and probably promised them a cut if she wins.
Correct. That's a smart man right there.
My God.
Very wise man.
So, would you be, well, I mean, obviously you would be shocked if somehow this turns out to be true. What happens?
Everybody in the world gonna get $1 million that day because it ain't true.
Everybody's going to get a million. Is this woman a black woman? Is she a mayonnaise woman?
Yeah, she's Caucasian.
She's Caucasian.
Uh-huh.
She herself is, does the article establish her age? 1988. She said that she sustained permanent damages. I don't know whether she's speaking about mental damages, emotional, or that there are physical disabilities as a result of what took place.
They're gonna say all of that. They're gonna say it all. You know, they're gonna break down in court, cry, and do all types of stuff. You know, like it's just terrible.
Jermaine plans on fighting us.
Man, I can't really get into that yet because it's too early in the game right now.
Are the Jacksons are they numb to just the zoo-ness of it all?
Right now, everybody's just on defense right now. You know what I mean? There's no reason to be on offense. You know, because, it's the risk. This has been going on for, like I told you, for more than 40, 50 years. So it's time to play defense again because something big is about to happen, which is Jafar. This is big. Michael Jackson biopic movie. Jafar Jackson is sensational. Like, he's going to be the new person. Like, he really is. If you haven't seen him, go check him out. Like, the closest thing to Michael
is Jafar.
The closest thing. There's only two people that's been close to Michael, and that's Jafar Jackson and B. Howard. That's it.
Who is Gepetto's dad? Do you want to say it for the 50th time?
I'll let them see the 3-part we call it docu-series.
The 3-part docu-series. It's explosive, you guys. I was not expecting this. This retrograde has been explosive. Everything from Cardi B and Offset's drama, Nicki Minaj and the Billboard, everything going on with TD Jakes, everything going on around Tyler Perry, everything going on around Robert F. Smith, everything going around Diddy. I mean, it's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. But you are establishing that this is a lie and this is a money grab. Are you willing to consider, because you did say earlier on that Jermaine was promiscuous, etc., that it's possible that her and Jermaine at the very least had a affair?
Yeah, I think she's probably a little butthurt. She's probably, I can't say that. It was 1988. I was 4. So, at the same time, it's just like, she probably was a butthurt. I don't want to say anything legally, but I'm just saying she probably was butthurt.
Wow. Okay, so I want to read this article that was just written up 3 hours ago from NBC News. Mm-hmm. And it says that a woman has sued Michael Jackson's older brother, Jermaine Jackson, accusing him of raping and sensually assaulting her in the spring of 1988 and conspiring to keep it quiet to keep his reputation intact. The suit was filed Wednesday in L.A. Superior Court under the state's sexual... Uh-oh, we got some feedback.
You got feedback?
Probably came from you moving that phone over that
I had to put it on the charger.
Big ass base. Okay.
Yeah.
The suit was filed in L.A. Superior Court under the state's Sexual Abuse and Cover-Up Accountability Act, which allows civil suits in sensual assault cases that reach beyond the statute of limitations if one or more parties are legally responsible or if there was a cover-up involved. Under the act, suits can be filed through December 31st, 2023. Rita Butler Barrett claimed in the suit that she knew Jackson through her husband's personal and business relationship with Berry Gordy, founder of Motown Records, the Jackson 5. which Jermaine Jackson was a part of, along with the Supremes and Marvin Gaye, were some of the hit artists represented by the label. In the spring of 1988, Jackson allegedly forced himself into Butler's home and with force and violence sensually assaulted her. So he would force himself into the home of a married woman who, and risk having to also deal with her husband.
No.
Who was also once again tied to him, Barry Gordon, the record label. Okay. The complaint said Barrett's complaint claimed that she feared for her life during the attack and Jackson left after the assault. One day later, she reported the assault to Gordy, not to the police, but to Gordy, not to her husband, apparently, but to Gordy. But he did nothing to report it, the filing said. Did your husband do anything to report it? Is my question. I'm so confused.
Because they were in it, they're all in it. You know, like, come on, it's just like coaching somebody's coaching her. That's what it seems like.
Well, this is horrible coaching if this is the result of coaching.
Yeah.
I've seen better coaching. Instead,
it's bad coaches.
Instead, the complaint alleged that he and others worked to cover up the assault. Quote, because of his relationships with both defendant Jackson and plaintiff's family, Mr. Gordy was uniquely situated to both report defendant Jackson's acts and to aid plaintiff during her time of trauma. Instead, Mr. Gordy withheld and concealed the acts, further perpetuating the cover up and allowing Mr. Gordy, defendant Jackson, and others in the business relationship to continue to reap profits derived from Mr. Jackson's work. But that will also include her husband.
Yeah.
That would include her husband as well. Is her husband not being sued?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I mean, the document's going to come out soon. You know what I mean? Where everything else, like right now, it's just alleged.
And I'm aware that we don't have the whole suit, you know, because I'm interested in line by line, by line, because
you know what I mean?
She's going to have to make a lot of. She's going to have to connect all the dots. This is her burden.
It's allegedly.
This is allegedly. Defendant Jackson and others in the business relationship to continue to reap profits derived from Mr. Jackson's work, which is what I find to be interesting. What man would ruin that, especially by assaulting someone so close up on the money, so close up on the business.
Super disrespectful, so well raised. You know, so much posture protected, like family's protected, man. You know, like it's leeches, snakes.
The complaint was filed against Jackson, his business, Jermaine L. Jackson Music Productions, Inc., and Work Records, alleging sensual battery, assault, and negligence. NBC News has reached out to representatives for Jackson and Gordy for comment. The complaint alleged that Jackson and others were involved in a conspiracy to cover up the disclosure of the assault to preserve his and his associates' reputations and profits. While the world never knew about the alleged assault and Jackson remained in good public standing, Barrett was forced to suffer in silence and shame for decades, the complaint said. Barrett to this day suffers great emotional distress, fear, anxiety, humiliation, and other physical and emotional injuries as a result of the alleged assault and cover up. According to the complaint, the suit seeks general damages to be determined at trial. A similar act was passed in New York that saw lawsuits against high-profile celebrities such as Diddy Combs, Ariel Smith, and singer Steven Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Do you want to take some questions from the chat?
Yeah, if they want to ask questions,
I can drop the link and allow some folks to come up and chitter chat. For those of you who just coming in, this is Gepetto Jackson, son of Jermaine Jackson. He also just let us know that Michael Jackson, that Jermaine Jackson's youngest, is this the youngest?
No, he's middle.
The middle child of Jermaine Jackson, Jafar, who is going to be starring in a biopic playing his uncle, Michael Jackson, is a part of a production that's just been funded by the Jacksons' estate of $400 million plus. All right. And the timeliness of that money and that production and this lawsuit alleging a situation that happened 35 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My God, to day.
Yep.
Wow. Let me drop the link. If you guys have questions, I want to come up and add your 212 or ask Gepetto any questions. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Doesn't he look like his daddy, child? My God, today. All right, I just dropped the link. Moderators, if y'all could rotate the link for people who want to come up. And if you have any questions that you want to ask Gepetto, this is the time now to put them in the chat or to hit the link and come up and speak to the king. This is some wild shit. This is wild shit.
Very, very wild.
Berry Gordy, 94, and possibly will have to be wheelchaired into a Los Angeles Superior Courtroom to possibly corroborate Mrs. Barrett's account. Y'all asking questions, all that's gonna come out in the interview, baby. You gotta watch the 3-part interview, okay? He spilled all his tea, his ancestry, all of that comes out in the interview, all right? If y'all have any questions regarding the suit and have any attitude about Miss Barrett's claim that Jermaine Jackson violently ran and ambushed her home, assaulted her in such a way that she's been left with permanent damages, and that she ran down to the record label to tell Berry Gordy the next day, and he participated in a cover-up to suppress this event because Jermaine was popping at the time, and they did not want his reputation smeared and stained, and she has suffered in decades of silence up till now. How much is she suing for? So none of the articles have disclosed how much she's suing for. Have you heard anything about the amount in which she's going for?
Not at all. This, like I said, man, this is a junkie stunt right here.
A junkie stunt. Have you ever heard of this woman? Like, do you know this woman? Did you ever come across her growing up? Is this someone you ever met yourself? Because she's been around since 1988 and beyond.
Not at all. I don't even know who this lady is.
Wow. Cheryl says, I thought Jermaine only had 7 children. Now where he come from? He come from heaven. He come from people. Okay? He gonna tell y'all all the tea. In that 3-part interview, Jackie and Jermaine, I didn't know much of their kids. Hood Hack says Bill Cosby was best friends with Hugh Hefner. He lucky he got out of there. Lachey says, I feel like the Jacksons have been through so much. They are a strong family and remain kind and humble. And it's crazy that the family still comes under fire to this day. It just makes me wonder, is it going to be this way to the end? And it makes me also scared for the younger generation of the Jacksons and what their experience is going to be.
It's going to be, they're going to continue attacking the name all the way.
Welcome to the platform, Rumors and Tea.
Hey, Conscious. Hey, I don't want to mess up your name. How do you pronounce your name again? Gepetto?
Gepetto.
Okay, hello.
How are you?
I don't really have questions. I just wanted to say I'm just tired of the white lily lies and accusations, and tears. Like, I feel like the Jackson clan has definitely been through enough. It just feels like a constant witch hunt for them. And I think most of us feel the same way. We really kind of like over it. And that's just it, I don't really know much, but what can we say other than this is a constant attack, and we're over it.
Yeah, you gotta stand strong. You gotta stand very strong,
I have so many questions. I'm curious to know what role her husband is going to play. Is he even still alive at this point? It is interesting that everybody is of age in the situation. Jermaine is also he's trapped according to Gepetto. He's kind of bound legally to Africa right now. So it's just all bizarre to me. It's so bizarre.
You know how the systems at hand usually how they operate. So the convenience of everything is not alarming to me. It just checks off. It's a lot of things. It's like a consistent pattern, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm just glad that when it comes to this particular family, I'm glad that we as a community, you know, stand with them, because we like it's like we've seen it done so many times, and we really want to know what's the point at, you know what I mean? Like, although I'm not siding with anyone, because you know SA and all of that is very serious, but I'm just no longer quick to believe allegations like this unless there's evidence. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
provide the proof. Like, come on, like 35 years.
And that's a
and with
good point, rumors into that this is an allegation. It's an allegation.
the
It's not necessarily truth. Nobody has to believe it. Nobody is bound to believe it, because the burden is on Miss Barrett to prove her plight. This is her plight and her truth, and the court of law requires her to substantiate her claim. It
Now,
does.
what I will say is quite interesting on in regards to this situation. When with each accusation and trial that Michael had to endure, why was this never brought? Because that would have seemed like the perfect opportunity for her to speak up. You know, in the height of those accusations that Michael had to fight. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't see why she didn't speak up if this is true. Why didn't she speak up then?
$400 million is quite the motivation.
You're 400 million.
You know, that's true, but I mean, like, there would have been, you know, glad that she did, and whoever is orchestrating this, because I feel like it's orchestrated. But that would have been like the perfect opportune moment, you know,
Mm.
to just come in and speak, because the family in its entirety was already under enough distress, you know, and being supportive, and you know, with all of that
Mm.
comes with that. So I just don't understand. Like, I do understand, but I don't understand. Like, I don't understand if it's true, why did she not pursue it then? And for me, that's why it doesn't feel true. You know what I
How,
mean? Like,
how do you feel about the people who are going to say that it's sounding like you are leaning toward victim blaming?
no, I'm not necessarily like, that's why I say I just need to see proof. But I mean,
Mhm.
usually when it comes to like these type of high profile allegations, when one person speaks out, especially like even though that was against Michael, but like we're talking about a family at large as well, a very famous, wealthy, influential family. Usually when one person comes out, another person comes out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at patterns. And so I just find it very interesting. And it just seems like every time, like with Michael, every time he did something prolific as far as like obtaining masters and buying off, you know, all of the things that he was acquiring, right? I just see patterns of how the attacks come. So I'm not surprised that if, you know, there's a film coming out and this is not, you know, it's like something to hang a shadow over or whatever. It just seems very strategic and inauthentic to me.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you're correct. I gotta say that. Like, you're very correct about that. Like when you said about it being prolific, like that's when they attack every single time. And here's the time again. The movie's coming. The Michael Jackson biopic movie. Here, coming soon.
Yeah. Well,
This,
my prayers is with everyone involved. I hope that is not true. If it is true, you know, I hope vindication and justice is prevailed. But I don't know. Just in the pit of my stomach, I right now I don't believe it. However, I'm not going to say that it's not true. I need to see proof.
need to see proof.
Mm.
I
Because
don't think there's
anyone
anything
can
wrong with
file
that.
charges.
Because even the
Right.
courts need to see it in order to render a verdict. So,
Right.
proof
Well,
indeed.
it was good coming up. I'm going back down to moderate.
All right, Boo. Thank you for the moderation. Thank you for the
Mhm.
insight. This is wild.
Wild.
So someone just said, I think it was, let me get this comment. Norman says Jermaine was long gone from Motown back in 1983. Barry Gorton sold Motown in 1988. But this woman,
But at the same time, you gotta remember he had a baby by Hazel Gordy, which is Barry Gordy's daughter.
according to her, Mrs. Barrett, this happened in 1998, and at that time, Okay, yes, she ran down to Gordy, who withheld and concealed the acts, further perpetuating. She believes that Gordy's alleged inaction allowed him. I can still. Is that you? Okay. He'll be back, y'all. She's alleging that regardless of when he was with or not with the label, that Jermaine Jackson and Gordy was still very much so business partners doing business together, etc., and that Gordy participated intentionally in helping Jermaine to conceal this violent crime committed against her. Okay, she don't give a damn about whether he was near the label, with the label, but she is incriminating him in this lawsuit as well. It's just bizarre as hell. I'm interested in the line by line. I'm interested in seeing what the full lawsuit states, because there has to be like these articles that are referencing the lawsuit. I'm gonna give Miss Barrett the benefit of a doubt. They got to be, just kind of putting the main points together. I'm going to assume that this lawsuit is more nuanced than this, Gepetto. Because if this is the bulk here, and this doesn't get any more nuanced than this woman did not help her plight. Can you hear me, Gepetto? He getting up on together, y'all. Them phones. Tanya says she tired of eating oodles and noodles and bologna sandwiches. Cheryl says he has. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I just have to assume that this lawsuit, that these articles are just lacking like nuance. I have to assume that this woman really laid this thing out in the actual suit.
Yeah.
She has to find a way to get a man who's locked in Africa into court for a unsubstantiated amount of money, and all of the people that she
better bring
that she's citing as witnesses are damn near 100 years old.
She better bring Johnny Cochran back from the dead.
If you were Jermaine, would you countersue Miss Barrett?
Of course. But I'm not gonna I'm gonna make sure the media is muzzled. I'm gonna do it that way because anything she wants any attention is good attention for her. So I would muzzle the media. I have a motion to suppress the media inside the courtroom.
But to your point, if she takes the opportunity to come forward publicly and she's on the Dr. Phil show or she's on the Oprah show, because Oprah has it out for the Jacksons for some reason. She loves to use the Jacksons as a deflection tactic, and with her being caught up in her Ozempic pen lies and this drama with Taraji, she might be looking at this as an opportunity to distract the public from all of her bull crap by pulling in Miss Barrett for an exclusive sit down.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna get pretty interesting. It can probably go that far, but it probably won't. Who knows? But either way, we're prepared.
How are you feeling?
I'm used to it. Like it just gets tackier and tackier every time. It's the same tactic every time. It's just a bunch of leeches trying to get their hands in the estate, and that's what it's about, and get some money from it.
Unlike Bill Cosby, he told himself, this lady better have some proof. He said, she said, doesn't work in court. I'm not mad at Black and brown people not being quick to run to a mayonnaise woman's defense against a Black man because we know how that goes and the history of white women and their privileged tears and accusations against black men. I'm not mad at the black community for definitely enforcing proof when it comes to mayonnaise women and their claims against black and brown folk. I ain't mad at that. Some weird ass folk are going to be out there saying that's victim shaming. No, ma'am. It's too much historical context for the reason why people will tiptoe and be slow to come to judgment in certain situations and circumstances. And any well-informed person would not rush to judgment if they're properly informed about their damn history. Now, Miss Barrett, the one who claimed it, she the one who got to prove it, and even the courts require that of her. Janet Jackson was my era, period. Oh my God. Ariel says it could be some truth to this. If Jermaine did this to her and she went to Barry about it, he probably would want to protect his grandchild's father, etc. But a married woman? Who rushes into the home of a married woman? You would have had to be willing to fight through her husband. You had to be willing to do... It was... Why?
I don't. It's too much.
I think possibly because you the one said that your daddy was a gigolo. So I think it's possible there may have been a sexual relationship that was more than likely consensual.
Possibly. But as far as him running up in anything, like, no, man, the Jacksons get ran up on. You don't do no running town. You know, so... I mean,
and he didn't even do this in a space where he had concealment. You tell me that he would pull up in your neighborhood. This high-profile individual will pull up in your neighborhood, violently bust your door down.
No.
And you're a married woman, risk encountering your husband, etc.
It's outrageous. If anybody believes this, man, you might as well just believe anything. I don't, it's ridiculous, man. That's stupid.
It's bizarre. It's not impossible, but it's just bizarre. Has Jermaine ever been accused prior to this of any type of anything like this in the past? As far as you know?
I mean, the closest thing that they would say is, well, I just want to save it for the docuseries. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Because I can't really put that out there like that. So
Cheryl is saying that Jermaine is no longer in Africa. Or does Gepetto know why he was in Africa stuck? The circumstances around why he was in Africa to begin with, or what was the issue?
That's in the docuseries too, unless you want me to reveal it. You know, like, it's up to you.
I mean, you know what? No, you ain't gotta reveal it. Everybody can tune in for the 3-part because we did go into Jermaine in Africa. Cheryl says that Jermaine was stuck because his passport expired due to past child support payments. It does not make sense. It is bizarre, says Maple. He looks like his father for sure. J990 says, good to see Jermaine's son is standing by his father. Lachey says, the mentally unstable, risky, and desperate, and Jermaine Jackson doesn't give that. Hood Hack says, it's so cringy to speak about it. There is a lot of Gordy's are family to me, and I had friends who worked for Motown back in the day. Much love to my Motown family, says Norman Ross. Okay, Norman Ross, do you want to hit the link, Norman, and come up here? Okay, I'm gonna be quiet because this man isn't telling us anything other than Jermaine was promiscuous back then. Okay. He sounds like the Terminator busting through. Right, Bougie. It's just very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Lady Butterfly, hi.
Hello.
What are your thoughts about this lawsuit? And what do you think about all of this?
You know, this may be a very unpopular opinion
Mhm.
because I know it can come off as victim blaming, but with all these people coming out with all these accusations, do you guys think that countersuing is the best option for every single male that gets accused of something, especially if it can't be proven?
I'm gonna go one further. I think for people who are innocent, I think that there needs to be some repercussions, even on a legal. I think if people file frivolous lawsuits about things that they cannot prove, or it turns out that they have lied, I think there needs to be legal ramifications, because the reality is we all know that the lie sticks quicker than the truth does. And with, like, she gets to go back into her life after this is all said and done. Jermaine
Correct.
Jackson gets to be remembered for her allegations, and that is a despicable thing to have to live alongside. Is salacious lies. So if I were Jermaine Jackson or any of these men who were innocent and did not do these things, I would absolutely be holding these liars to the fire.
And do you
I would.
And do you think that if legislation were to change, like if in all 50 states they pass laws,
Mhm.
because a lot of women don't go to prison, they just walk around freely after they've, accused somebody of something that they may have not done. Do you think that would stop people from lying, or do you think it would
Yes,
just continue? Okay.
absolutely. I think that because there is hardly any legislation that holds the liars accountable, that this allows it to be open season on rich and wealthy people. And I think this is why so many people are willing to roll the dice and take the risk. And a lot of these people know that, especially when it comes to public figures, that their greatest asset is their reputation. And because people don't want to have to deal with things like this, they don't want to have to spend the money or draw things out and have this stuff constantly in the media for a year, etc., through mitigating, that they will go ahead and settle out of court just to avoid the sensationalism of these salacious claims. And a lot of these people who file these lawsuits and who make these claims, who know that they're liars, they know that there's a bigger chance that we won't even get to the mitigating, that we'll be able to come to a settlement. I'll get my little coin, whether I told the truth or not. I get my payout. I go off into my life, and life is over with. I feel like if there was legislation, absolutely, people would be on pins and needles and would be less likely to run to the courts over bull crap, because they know that there are serious repercussions. And I think those repercussions should be time, because because allegations like this, I remember I did a live stream 2 years ago about the dark side of the Me Too movement, and we went through this laundry list of cases that have took place historically where women have falsely accused athletes, have falsely accused the valedictorian, and how some of these men, after, like, some of these men took their own lives.
Yes,
as and trying to deal with these claims, and then it came out that these women lied, that they were just in a feelings that was butthurt over not being chosen. They were pick-me's who were rejected. They were scorned girlfriends. They were sociopathic stalkers, etc. And these men had to have their scholarships ripped from them. They were booted out of colleges, out of their fraternities, over something that was never true to begin with. And some of these men are not even here. So I feel like because of how severe of an emotional impact these type of allegations can have on people, that yes, the crime, the penalty should fit the potential crime. Like, what if Jermaine Jackson was to take his life as a result of something that may in fact not be true?
This is the new hustle. This is the new hustle. What they do now, everybody wants to get paid this way. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying on other stars that did wrong. Like, when it comes to people, I won't give my opinion, but when it was like R. Kelly and different things like that. But once that window started opening up with social media existing to give an outlook and control the narrative online, to give these accusations about these people. Because you remember then, it wasn't really like, it was like the National Enquirer It was newspapers and different things like that. We didn't really have people like the social media stuff. So and so now it's like everybody gets to control it and roll with it and influence it to either get better or get worse.
And that's another thing that I don't like about the allegation space is that a lot of people already start to be penalized before they even have due processing. So people already start to lose endorsements. They start to lose deals. They start to lose, they start to lose their opportunity just because of an allegation, not even a substantiated allegation, but just an allegation alone. So I'm just feel like, why should somebody be forced to endure all of that? And then there's no payout for them in the end. Like there's no retribution aside from, oh, it's just not true. Okay, fine. But I also lost hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. My reputation is forever tainted as a result of what this person did. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to just be fulfilled and appeased by the fact that it's not true. And this person just gets to walk away and also have their legacy now forever tied to my fucking name.
Right.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Hey, Conscious.
Yes.
I got the family calling in. So I'm gonna have to go and handle some situations right now.
Handle some situations. Hit me back. Let me know what's going on. Thank you for being here today.
And I want to say thank you, Conscious, and they look forward to seeing that docuseries. I'm telling you, it's extravaganza. You guys, stay tuned, and I appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely, and thank you, man. That's Gepetto Jackson, y'all. 3-part series coming to a theater near you.
I actually wanted to ask him one more question. I don't know if you can ask him this, but does he feel like maybe it's deeper than just these women or this person wanting a paycheck, that maybe it's tied back to past dealings, like when they were really going after Michael for his catalogs and stuff like that? So I'm kind of wondering if it's a label type of thing or something of that nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think that it's a proper question, considering that we have seen this in the past. So I would ask him that, and when I come back to give an update, I'll bring him back and have him come up here, because we do have an interview, and maybe I can insert that into the interview. But I think, all things are to be considered. God only knows, a Lady Butterfly, what the motives are. They could be that, and how many other, and when he said that his dad was promiscuous, that's what made me be like, oh, okay, so there's a chance that maybe him and this lady maybe was having an affair. Maybe she is embellishing and exaggerating for whatever reason. Now it is odd that she would roll the dice this far out, considering that Barry Gordon is almost 100 years old, for God's sake. I mean, I don't know how much his brain or his wherewithal is going to be abused, but maybe that was intentional, because everybody is old as hell. Some people have died off entirely, that it makes something like this even more convenient.
Yes.
Because she knows that it's going to come down to possibly maybe just her word and Jermaine's. And that more than likely Jermaine may in fact pay her out. But I'm also not going to say that it's impossible that this claim is, untrue, because we know that things like this happen too.
Right.
But I'm interested to see how she's going to substantiate her claim.
I'm interested in that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and go down into the
All right.
chat.
Thank you, Lady Butterfly.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to come up before we head out? The link is in the description box. Girl, this is a mess. This is a mess. Gepetto Jackson says, honey, Miss Barrett is after that $4 million, honey. She knows what type of coin is in the Jackson's estate. Well, Conscious, if that woman was married and he was there when it happened, wouldn't he be a witness? But that's what I'm saying. But yet he's not even really mentioned in the references to the lawsuit, from any of the hundreds of articles I've read this far, other than saying, her husband was tied into, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, but that's another thing too, like, why would her husband not I can understand maybe her as a single woman if this happened, you know, not going to the police, maybe, etc. But I'm curious to know why her husband did not encourage going to the police, or if her husband even knows at all, because she doesn't mention her husband outside of the fact that she had one and that he had a close relationship to Barry Gordon and Jermaine and all of that, you know. So I'm just confused. It's only a claim. It's not valid. It's just a claim. That's all that it is at this point. It's just a claim. Corinthia Haybu says we need everyone to thumbs up the video. Thanks, and we as a CTV crew would love it. Thank you, boo boo. Let me see here. Why now? Gepetto Jackson says it's a money grab. Look at the timing. Look at the budget coming out of the Jackson's estate, right into Jermaine's lap when it comes to, you know, his son Jafar. It's clearly a money grab as far as Gepetto is concerned. Allegedly, as far as the Jacksons are concerned, it's a money grab. You know, why she didn't do anything up to this point is because money is involved. The budget for this Jackson movie, and if they can put $400 million into a damn movie, for God's sake, I mean, you know, that's throwaway money. You know, that's just investment money. Clearly, the Lucky Charm pot is rolling over and over and over and over and over. Is he currently living? Are you talking about the husband, Miss Goldie? Who you asking that about? Why Kim K has not been blackballed yet for doing worse than her ex-husband? Oh, we know people got the complexion for the protection. I like your hair, CTV. Thank you. Great show and great point, CTV. I wonder why as well. I think we're going to figure out in time, you know, if this thing gets picked up and the ball gets rolling, you know, there's going to be a discovery, or if there's a settlement, or, you know, it's going to get interesting. You guys know that Diddy also has another lawsuit as well. Matter of fact, while we here, we might as well just go ahead and deal with that too. And I'll change the headline. P. Diddy sued by... Okay. Let me see something. Such as abuse and because you guys know Diddy is being sued as well. Oh, wow. This isn't the first time that Diddy has been sued by a ex-employee. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to get into that too. Hold on. But let me find the most recent one, because I didn't know he was involved in a lawsuit back in 2019 as well. What? Hold on, y'all. I'm finding all type of shit on Google. What? Oh my God. Wait, it's like every time I type in something, girl, it gets worse. Hold on. What in the hell? Girl, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's always a lot, girl. I can't even keep up at this point, girl. The news cycle is cycling. I don't know why I can't find any articles on what everybody is reporting on. Hold on, y'all. Let me thumbs up the video if you guys are in the building. Past 24 hours. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Here it is. All right, so hold on. Why am I glitching? Why am I glitching? Why am I glitching? Why am I glitching? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me, girl? It is a lot going on. I don't know why my camera is acting stupid. Something going on with something is going on with YouTube. I overheard Lovely T speaking, like her shit was glitching and freezing as well. YouTube has just been doing the most. I don't know what the hell is going on with this system. Hold on, let me see if I can get my camera back up so you guys can enjoy all of my beauty. Hold on, you guys. And I want to shout out to my baby mother, Ashley, and Reggie as well for the old nasty piece of Cash App. Thank you guys so much. Hold on, let me try to get my camera back up. This is, girl, we work too hard as content creators to be going through the going throughs. It's ridiculous. Okay. All right. Everything is freezing. This is nuts. All right. We are back in action. Okay. So let's do it, girl. So you guys know P. Diddy not only has been sued by Cassie, settled less than 5 minutes after the damn suit was filed. Now he's also allegedly being sued by a former nanny. All right. Let me pull up a picture of Diddy because I don't want to show these articles because YouTube also be censoring the hell out of all of that too. Okay, hold on. Share my screen. Miss Diddy girl. Okay, Cassie reduced P. Diddy to just P girl. Okay, she sued the goddamn Diddy off his ass. It's just P period. All right, but this is courtesy of the Jasmine brand. All right, give me a minute, child. We improvising now. I wasn't prepared to talk about Miss Diddy, but let's do it. Okay, according to the Jasmine brand, you guys, Diddy's blasts former nanny for suing him for wrongful termination after she attempted to have him sanctioned for failing to turn in docs regarding case. All right, media mogul Diddy had some professionally aggressive words for the former nanny he's currently being sued by. According to Radar Online, the billionaire recently submitted a court motion slamming his ex-employee for, according to him, inaccurately claiming that he was intentionally withholding evidence. As we've been covering, Sean Diddy Combs is currently embroiled in a legal battle with his former babysitter, Raven Walden, the woman who was employed by the musician from 2018 to 2020, claims that her employment as a caretaker of his twin daughters was terminated based on discrimination after she informed them of her pregnancy. In her suit, Walden says that she was told that Diddy didn't think an unmarried woman having a child was the best example for the girls that he shares with his late ex, Kim Porter, Jesse James, and Delilah, and thus ended her employment immediately. Walden and Diddy have been having legal exchanges about the lawsuit since. In one of the more recent court motions, Walden reportedly asked the court to sanction Diddy for $5,000. She accused him of allegedly failing to produce documents that she believed were crucial to the case. Reportedly, some of the evidence requested pertained to her employment and termination, as well as the employment of others on Diddy's payroll. However, the Gotta Move On artist has since responded to the motion, arguing that the discovery has already been submitted and lashed out at Walden for filing the sanction in the first place. His response reportedly read, quote, "Instead of filing the motion and wasting court and party resources, Raven should have consulted with Diddy on a production schedule in order to understand when they would be producing the documents that they committed to. Sanctions are not warranted under these circumstances because the documents sought have been produced. The motion was irrelevant Two, the Diddy's production and Raven's counsel manufactured a dispute that did not even exist. Okay, Diddy call it all cap, girl. This is a money grab. In his initial response to the suit, Diddy denied that Walden's firing was due to discrimination. He argued that her employment was always meant to be temporary following Porter's passing. If you recall, the model suddenly transitioned from life after experiencing flu-like symptoms back in 2018. Walden claimed that she was Porter's niece and got extremely close to the family after she moved into Diddy's L.A. mansion to care for the children at the time. However, the entertainer argued that the reason for her firing was simply due to being inadequate at completing her job duties. A judge has reportedly not yet ruled about the sanction at this here time. Wow. So what do you guys think about that, girl? Diddy is arguing that this woman was never a permanent nanny. She was only temporarily hired to do time for a minute, that he was scrambling essentially because Kim Porter in passing, he used her niece as a substitute, but in doing so, she wasn't even an adequate employee like most damn family members who are converted into workers, hardly do their damn work out of family privilege. But this woman is claiming, no, that's not true, that she was discriminated against, that Diddy did not find her lifestyle to be of a positive representation to his daughters, and that she was fired for that alone, and that he has participated in suppressing information regarding her termination and her employment and other employees' employment as well. Diddy is slamming her for the sanction, which is he's saying is not even necessary, nor is it even lawful, or there is even is an obligation, because the paperwork has already been filed and submitted, and she knows that the discovery has already taken place, and all requested information has already hit their desk. And once again, he had no obligation under federal law to have blah 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 blah. Are y'all considering this to be frivolous, or is this substantiated? Full-time, part-time, LOL, she was still a nanny, right? But he's saying she wasn't terminated over what she claims to be terminated over, that she just didn't do her damn job, and that he's well within his right as an employer to fire her if he's not satisfied. And that she, and that she's all cap. I'm gonna have to look more into this, girl. But as I was looking into that, and here my camera go again, girl. Here we go. Here we go again. I cannot stand this. This is like really killing my goddamn vibe. Hold on, y'all. He fired the nanny because she knows his dirt. Man, a pity. Apparently, there's going to be nobody that isn't going to know his dirt, because his dirt is damn consistent. Okay, this camera ain't understanding the assignment. We're going to move along. So as I was looking that up, did you guys know that back in 2017 that Sean Diddy Combs was sued by an ex-chef for sensual harassment and retaliation? Cindy Rude says that she was frequently asked to serve meals to friends of the rap mogul during or after they engage in sensual activity. Diddy's former chef says that she was framed for the theft and fired after complaining about sensual harassment and not being paid for overtime, according to a complaint filed Monday in LA County Superior Court. Cindy Rude is suing Sean Combs for sensual harassment, retaliation, defamation, failure to pay overtime, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, amongst other claims. The chef says that she started working for Combs in 2015 and regularly worked from 9 a.m. to midnight or later without being paid overtime, and was regularly asked to serve food for her boss and his friends immediately following sensual activity. Rita claimed that she served Combs a post-coital meal while he was naked, and he asked her if she liked his body. One of his friends, she says, came into the kitchen naked and asked her to look at and admire his genitals. Hold on, bitch. Let me read that one more time. What happened? One of his friends, she says, came into the kitchen and naked and asked her to look at and admire his genitals. She says she routinely complained about her working conditions to Combs' estate director, Stacy Friend, and was lured into a situation where she could be accused of theft and ultimately terminated. Iris Combs, executive housekeeper, regularly salvaged discarded items in the house, according to the complaint, and offered Rita a watch she says was found in the trash. The chef took it. Quote, in the days following, Plantiff was accused of theft and told that she would be prosecuted if she returned the watch and signed a waiver. She would not be prosecuted if she returned the watch and signed a waiver of all rights and claims against defendants. Rights attorney James Blanchard in the complaint, noting that his client returned the watch but refused to sign the waiver. She's seeking damages for unpaid wages and overtime, plus punitive damages and an injunction to prevent future employees from being inaccurately classified as exempt. A rep for Combs sent The Hollywood Reporter a statement in response to the complaint. Quote, this is a frivolous lawsuit by a disgruntled ex-employee who was fired for a cause. Then apparently on May 9th of 2017, there was a updated statement from one of Combs' representatives, which I can see here. The complaint is filed by Mrs. Rudolph for sensual harassment. I can barely see this little ass shit. Hold on, let me blow my screen up real quick, y'all. Sensual harassment, hostile work environment, failure to prevent harassment and retaliation, violation of whistleblower protection labor code, wrongful discharge, violation of public policy, retaliation, defamation, intentional and infliction of emotional distress, negligence, infliction of emotional distress, failure to pay overtime wages, etc. Complaint for damages and demands jury by trial. Okay, there's the entire lawsuit here. My God, I never heard about this. Have you guys heard about this lawsuit from 2017 regarding P. Diddy's chef who was put in compromised sensual predicaments and who is I mean, according to the way things are worded, she also had a sensual consenting relationship to Diddy. They were doing both business and pleasure, but that she was also put into other sensual circumstances that she did not ask to be put into, such as his friends sexually harassing her, putting their genitals on display before her, and that when she went and complained to the head mistress involved about the shenanigans, that she was ultimately bribed to stay quiet by being offered Diddy's used and refurbished as furniture and jewelry, and that she was given a watch that Diddy had disposed of that had been tossed to the trash, and then Diddy used that as a means to fire her by accusing her of theft when the watch was presented to her pretty much as a hold on. Pretty much as a token item to keep her mouth closed about the things that she was complaining about in the work experience, girl. And Diddy once again is calling all cap that this is a money grab, that this woman is no more than a disgruntled employee, but between Cassie, Kim Porter's niece, who also is claiming wrongful termination, etc. 2 years after this suit, Cassie's goddamn lawsuit, and now another employee, aka the nanny. Well, that's Kim Porter's niece. This is a mess. I would have taken his safe fuck a watch. This is a mess. Y'all hashtagging Storm. Is Storm in the chat? Well, this is crazy. Wow. Yeah, this is a mess. While sure she haven't heard about this one, now he know he should have paid her that overtime. Are they all high? So they had an arrangement with just the two of them, and then his friends. Yeah, you know, P. Diddy loves them group experiences, allegedly, child. He loves his orgies and his freak offs, allegedly. Diddy and R. Kelly need to be studied in a scientific lab, girl, along with Jeffrey and Harvey Epstein and Weinstein, child. I don't even know how Diddy currently has employees, considering all that's coming up and out at this point about this man, girl. Nobody is safe, honey. Wait a minute. So this lady is saying that she was inappropriate, but she was also involved in an intimate relationship. Yeah, that's what it's giving. You know, she isn't saying that the sexual relationship with Combs was forcible. It seems that it was consensual, but that her workplace experience was raggedy as hell, and that P. Diddy thought that because she was consensual with him, that means that she was group fodder, okay? And was exploiting her, or attempting to exploit her, you know, attempting to slut her out by allowing the people in his camp and the people that he had proximity to also come on to her sexually and to reveal themselves and their genitals in inappropriate ways, and that he did not do anything about this. And when she complained to the head chef in charge, or, you know, this female supervisor who's over the nannies and the chefs and the janitors, that this woman pretty much just wanted to bribe her into shutting her damn mouth and was offering her up P. Diddy's used love sofas and rings and throwaways as a way to make it up to her, and as a way to, you know, just keep her from doing the most in the situation, honey. She said she did give the watch back, but she never sought the waiver. She was not in agreement with those terms, and she was ultimately terminated. I just don't know why people just don't quit when they're treated this way. My God, today, because having P. Diddy, you know, on your resume, you can get into some high places, you know, after that, honey. You know, once you done start having celebrity clientele, you know, you've pretty much substantiated your goddamn resume, honey. So I it's too much. Sleeping with your boss is an arrangement, implies that anything goes. Well, it doesn't imply that anything goes. You know, an arrangement is specific. You know, if I decide to lay it low and spread it wide for my boss, that does not mean that I'm willing to lay it low and spread it wide for the rest of the staff. Okay? And start treating me like group content is inappropriate, because I'm consenting to the experience I want. I'm consenting to the experience that is okay We are coming into a mutual agreement. You getting all creative trying to do side shit is out of order. Whatever we agreeing to is the agreement. You know, if I decide to lay it down low with you and spread it wide, that don't mean you leave the door crack and allow all your boys to have the opportunity to rush up in the room and get them some coochie. That's not how this goes. Okay, this is not community puss. All right, I'm fucking a single high valued man, which happens to be my boss, which can be argued to be inappropriate. You know, it muddies the waters, of course. You know, there's an old adage regarding don't mix business with pleasure. It's a reason why we say things like that. You know, don't hire family. It's a reason why we say things like that too. But, you know, an agreement is an agreement nonetheless. You know, Diddy, this is a mess. What would have happened if they just said no? Probably fired anyway. You know, you can't tell people like P. Diddy with narcissistic wealth privilege no. You know, these people don't take no for an answer. They either gonna harass you until they get a yes, or they're gonna punish you for saying no by firing the fuck out of you. Wait, she knowingly had sex with him. That's what the lawsuit is giving. That's what the lawsuit is giving. But the issue in the filing isn't over the sex. That's not the conflict. The conflict is wrongful termination under the guise that she stole a watch that was given to her by the head mistress, and the sexual harassment and the lack of protection she had working in his personal space regarding all the other heathens he allowed to be in his personal space, who subjected her to sensual harassment, etc. So wrongful termination under defamation. I did not steal anything from you, bitch. You know damn well why I was given that watch. You know damn well what the circumstances were. You know damn well I didn't steal anything from you. You wrongfully terminated me, tried to force me to sign practically a NDA that protects you and it makes me look like a crazy thieving bitch, so that in case you fire me, that, and then I come back around for workers' comp, or I come back around for unemployment, or I come around for, you know, entitled wages, etc., girl, that you could pull out this waiver and my signature and use and weaponize all that shit against me, girl. It's a mess. After she had sex with someone else, I didn't realize that she actually slept with him. She was saying after sensual activity. I don't know whether that means that they were having, you know, full-on ass clapping, you know, ping riding intercourse, or rather, you know, she was giving him head, or he was eating the ass, or what it entailed. You know, Cindy Rudolph says she frequently asked to serve meals to friends of the rap mogul during or after they engage in sensual activity, whatever that means. So yeah, him and her, according to her, were engaged in sensual activities in 2015 and things. I'm gonna read this first paragraph one more time. Diddy's former chef says that she was framed for theft and fired after complaining about sensual harassment and not being paid for overtime as well. She was working, this Mountain Dew, which I need more of. She was working from 9 a.m. to midnight plus, and she was not paid for the plus. Okay, as he would have company throughout the day, throughout all type of crazy hours. He would expect her, all right, to cook shark and whale and baby buffaloes and shit, and to pull out the grill, girl, and to accommodate, you know, his company at all given times of the day and hour, girl. Okay, it was damn near breaking work labor laws, all right. According to a complaint filed on Monday in L.A. County Superior Court, Cindy Rudolph is suing Sean Combs for sensual harassment, retaliation, defamation, failure to pay overtime, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, amongst other claims. She says that she started working for Combs in 2015 and regularly worked from 9 a.m. to midnight or later without being paid overtime, and was regularly asked to serve food for her boss and his friends immediately following sensual activity. So they were huff and puff and get nasty, girl, in some corner in the guest bedroom, girl, on the ceiling fan. And then after he had done roll her ass out and thrashed her and plumaged, you know, her coochie meat, girl, you know, he threw her in the kitchen and demanded, honey, that she serve up, you know, shrimp for a room of 20. Rudolph claimed that she served Combs a post-coital meal while he was naked, and that he asked her if she liked his body, yada, 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 yada. Now, we all know that P. Diddy, you know, is built like a very small station wagon, you know, so I can imagine the level of lying she had to do. One of his friends says that she said, she says, came into the kitchen naked and asked her to look at and admire his genitals. So this was the type of sexual harassment that she was subjected to outside of Diddy, that his friends would think of her as some whore, okay, who could just be frisked and who could just get on her knees and who would just be willing to do God knows what type of abominations, because this was the workplace atmosphere that Diddy, she's blaming for creating, you know, even though some of y'all are also holding her accountable because she's the one participating in a unprofessional, unorthodox relationship to her boss. It could be argued that it's inappropriate. But once again, inappropriate relationship with one person does not imply that I am your goddamn hoe and that you can pimp me the fuck out to your homeboys, okay? Those are two totally different mutual understandings, all right? Now, she says that she routinely complained about her working conditions to Combs, a state director, Stacey Friend, okay, and was lured into a situation where she could be accused of theft and ultimately terminated, all right? The executive housekeeper, Irish, regularly salvaged discarded items in the house, according to the complaint, and offered Rudolph a watch that she says was found in the trash. The chef took the damn watch. Okay, probably was a fucking Rolex. All right, now this is a part of the bribery, a part of the, you know, shut your mouth tokens. All right, shut up and stay in your place tokens. You know, when Ike would come back after he done beat and assaulted Tina in the damn studio and bring her chocolates and roses and rings and rubies and shit. You know, this was Diddy's way of cleaning up his bullshiggity. In the days following, Plantiff was accused of theft. All right, so this part was a setup. All right, now that I'm looking at it, this part was a damn setup by Diddy. Diddy was ensuring that he would be able to make this woman look horrible by getting one of his other staff members to give her alleged salvage items, knowing that Miss Rudolph would probably take those items, especially when she's already complaining about not being paid overtime, and that these high-end items would be of immense value to her because she could take and resell this stuff, repurpose it, pawn it, etc., and make up the difference for what Sean wasn't paying her for all this overtime work, etc., girl. That this is getting set up, girl, okay? But because she need a coin, girl, set up or not, bitch, it was being offered to her as a gift, okay? It had already been through to the trash. It was up for grabs. She grabbed it, baby. She hauled ass, honey, all right? She also says that she would be accused of theft and told that she would not be prosecuted if she returned the watch and signed a waiver of all rights and claims against the defendant, all right? So she could keep her job and or avoid being penalized if she agreed to return said watch and signed a waiver of all rights and claims against the defendants that she couldn't speak of those claims. She forfeit running with those claims and legitimizing those claims, etc. And noting that his client returned to watch but refused to sign the goddamn waiver because she at this point already knew what the fuck was going on, bitch. Like, no, bitch, I'm not about to sign anything that allows you to make me look like something I'm not, which is a thief. Okay, I'm not about to let you hold that over my head, especially not this month at this level, girl. Not letting you do that for sure. So now she's seeking damages for unpaid wages and overtime, plus punitive damages and injunction to prevent future employees from being inaccurately classified as exempt. Okay, so she's also claiming to fight her case with Sean in order to prevent other employees, potential future employees, from experiencing the very same thing. This is some wild shit. This is some wild shit, girl. So between the nanny, Cassie, the chef, Diddy got it going on. Tell me what you guys think. It's a lot to unpack. We have to come back tomorrow to get into some TD Jakes, Cora Jakes drama, girl. It's a lot going on. As far as I'm concerned, girl, I can believe anything about Diddy. I'm sorry. At this point, Diddy lacks all credibility. This man literally settled with Cassie 35 minutes after her damn lawsuit was filed. And then after he gave her $30 million plus in settlement, then issued a statement talking about he's going to fight for his name and fight for his reputation. Fighting for your reputation does not look like settling out of court with somebody accusing you of some of the most egregious, diabolical, perverse shit known to the federal courts, girl. Okay, if you were going to fight for your innocence, if you had any, girl, you would have took and held Cassie ass to task, baby. Okay, something that you knew that no dummy on earth would do, because you know that discovery would allow Cassie to subpoena Apple for them iCloud, for that iCloud, girl, where those videos are. Okay, open up that phone gallery, honey. Okay, all the shit you think you terminate on this side is still in the database on the other side. Okay, it was laughable and comical, honey. And if Diddy put one woman through this for years, then God forbid, you know what type of Hunger Games this man plays with everybody else, okay? A narcissist is one way across the board, girl, and there are typically, you find the same crimes committed against different individuals when it comes to one motherfucker, and it's just interesting to me how Sean Diddy allegedly holds people's careers over their heads. He knows these folk are desperate. He knows these folk are in need. He knows that they are prone to dependency. And he uses those soft points and those critical points, girl, to just be disturbing and to just be evil and to just exhaust power over people as if he's like he gets off. He's intoxicated, drunk off of this power and privilege. He loves seeing human beings compromise themselves. Even that story regarding the artist who was allegedly sucking him off and Diddy's personal assistant walked in, and then that story was corroborated by one of Diddy's security guards or bounty hunters or whatever the hell you want to call them, girl. Diddy loves that. He's turned on by desperation. And of course, Diddy loves some goddamn NDAs. But where Diddy fucked up at is that NDAs are one thing, but NDAs do not cover up things that can fall within criminality. NDAs cannot conceal crimes. It can conceal things that are more of an ethical and moral dilemma. things that are just make you a shitty person morally and ethically, but not criminally. So true. He for sure didn't want that. We need to interview her and the chef. Look, I'm gonna find these goddamn people, y'all. I'm gonna find these damn people. I'm gonna contact their motherfucking ass. I'm gonna see what they can tell me. See if they want to come forward and talk about this situation. I just discovered this. So I'm gonna look into this lawsuit as well and get more familiar with it and read it and see what happened with the lawsuit. Whether it was thrown out, whether they settled, whether there was a verdict rendered. Okay, here it is. It says, wait a minute. It's a lot more here, girl. Hold on. How I miss all this? Oh, this is another article. Okay, this is from NBC LosAngeles.com. It's more detailed. Oh, girl, this litigation got messy. Diddy's former says he was subjected to some harassment in her suit. Okay, let's read a little bit of this. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Elizabeth Allen White has sent Rudolph's case to arbitration in August of 2017, finding that she signed an employment agreement that, amongst other things, called for her to arbitrate any work-related disputes. White previously rejected Rudolph's attorney, Crystal Carrebra's argument that the language of the document was skewed unfairly in favor of Diddy as the employer. However, the lawyers told the judge that the case was resolved. No terms were divulged. Rudolph stated in a sworn declaration filed in connection with her lawsuit against the rapper, producer, singer that she often worked from 9 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. after signing an agreement to become his personal chef in 2015. She claimed that she was not given additional income on days she was required to work late and travel with Diddy. Rudolph, who said her duties included shopping for groceries, stocking the house and kitchen with food, clearing and organizing the pantry, and preparing meals for Diddy and his guests, also alleged that she was exposed to a harassing and hostile work environment. As an example, Rudolph stated that in August of 2015, she arrived late because of traffic and that Diddy, present with house guest Gina Huna, yelled in obscenity at her, then asked, "Can't you see I have company?" Rudolph said she apologized to Diddy and Huna and that the singer told her to immediately prepare breakfast and serve it in his bedroom. Rudolph said that when she finished making breakfast, she brought the food to Diddy's bedroom and knocked first, then entered to set up the meal. Quote, "Upon entering, I noticed Mr. Combs and his guests indisposed and engaged in sexual activity," Rudolph said. Rudolph also alleged that in June 15th, that Diddy's manager commented on the size of her lips and that he and one of her bosses asked a number of sensually oriented questions. She said one of her bosses told her to sign a confidentiality agreement as well as a promise to arbitrate any labor disputes. She said she asked if someone could review the agreement because she did not understand it, but the supervisor told her not to share the paperwork with anyone or the offer would be resonated and she would be fired. She said she eventually signed the agreements and that her annual salary was $91,000. Rudolph claimed that over her objections that she was required to travel with Diddy on 2 trips to Miami and another to Joshua Tree National Park to prepare meals for him and his guests. She said she insisted when she signed the offer that she not have to travel because she had children to care for and could not be away from them for too long. Okay, then the article just ends there. Okay, so now that this article is a bit more nuanced, okay, I'm going to assume that no, Miss Rudolph was not in a sexual relationship to herself. The way that the first article worded everything and kind of pieced everything together made it look like that. But what the first article was talking about, apparently, when it says that Cindy Rudolph says she was frequently asked to serve meals to friends of the rap mogul during or after they engaged in sexual activity. Apparently, she's talking about after he had engaged with sensual activity with his guests, that she would then be asked to serve meals. She is a chef, for God's sakes. So I'm assuming that no, she is not having a sensual relationship to Sean, but that she was regularly fixing meals for him after she would stumble into him having freak offs with his guests, etc. And that witnessing this was disturbing in and of itself, and that she was subjected to sexual harassment from his peers who was over the house as well. That's a lot, girl. You have to pay me a bit more than $91,000, girl, to know that every time I come to the house to do my job, and then I'm there at the job pretty much all day from 9 a.m. to 1:30 a.m., girl, and that I may be witnessing all type of sensual, abominable, freak off level TD Jakes in swings dressed up as rabbits and shit, bitch. You're gonna have to pay me a bit more than $91,000 a year. You know, I could be working in a 5-star hotel or a restaurant, you know, for about this much without having to endure all of that. 500K minimum, period. Okay, I mean, girl, or you know, depending on how cute everybody is, girl, I would at least have to be welcomed, okay, to participate in the freak offs. Okay, I mean, the offer would at least have to be there. Okay, you know, some days I may just come, you know, to work wanting to freak and prepare waffles. You know, it's just going to be some days like that. You know, we would have had to work it out. Okay, but it was going to have to be, you know, you're going to have to up the ante, girl, if it's going to be all this going on. Okay, and the circus of it all. This is a mess. So I'm going to look at this case because the court filings are here. And I'm going to check that out. And we'll come back and divulge more and get more into this. And I can tell you guys where the case went, what happened, girl, what was all done and not done. And it looked like it went for quite some time. So that's what's going on, girl. We'll keep our eye out on this Jermaine Jackson story. It looked like it's going to get real messy, boots. Gepetto Jackson was here to say that, girl, this is a money grab. This woman is now aware of just how much wealth is in the Jackson's estate since Jermaine Jackson's middle child is working on a project funded by the Jackson's estate at, you know, worth $400 million something goddamn dollars, girl. Okay. Is it a money grab? Is Miss Barrett, girl, coming out of the wilderness 35 years later, girl, mad about an affair that never turned into anything other than her getting her clitoris rubbed? Or did Jermaine Jackson do the unthinkable? You know, I know people were saying earlier, girl, that, you know, I don't know. It's a very odd circumstance, and I'm interested in seeing the full lawsuit rather than the articles. So I'm going to be looking out for that, and we will revisit this as well. Be on the lookout for Gepetto's 3-part interview, girl. All the questions you guys have for him in the chat, he got into in the interview. I will see you guys tomorrow for some TD Jakes drama, girl. We got a lot of shit to catch up on too, so it's going to be a lot going on over the weekend when it comes to content. I love you all. Please be safe. Shout out to all of the Cash Appers and donators, girl. We're working at this point. If I like it, love it, share, tell a friend, thumbs up. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think. And I will see you guys later. Bye.